You ready? Commissioner Melendez, you ready? Welcome to the Cannabis Regulation Commission meeting. Today is Thursday, May 15th, 2025. The time is 2:06 p.m., and we are in the Building and Safety Boardroom at 201 North Figueroa Street, 9th floor, Los Angeles, California. I am President Thyris Mason, and I will be chairing this meeting. The following commissioners are present: Commissioners Farnby and Melendez. I'm going to go over some housekeeping items before we get started. This meeting is being recorded, therefore we ask that when addressing the commission, you speak close to the microphone and only one person at a time. Please state your name each time you speak. This meeting is being live streamed. Individuals who wish to watch and listen to this meeting may do so by visiting cannabis.lacity.gov. We will be following the agenda order for the most part. Agendas are located on the table by the entrance door along with speaker cards. Individuals who wish to address this commission must fill out a speaker's card and specify which item or items you are going to speak on. Individuals can provide public comment or comments about a specific agenda item. Please fill out a speaker card and turn it into Irene or Josie. When I call your name, please come up to the podium and clearly state your name. We will consider general public comment and single or multiple agenda items together. Therefore, speakers will have 1 minute for general public comment and 1 minute per item with a maximum of 2 minutes for multiple items. In total, an individual speaker shall be limited to 3 minutes of public comment per meeting. Representatives from neighborhood councils who have filed a resolution or a community impact statement with the city clerk, which relates to any agenda item, will be given time to speak during the item itself. Please provide a copy of the filed statement or resolution to the commission executive assistant. Any neighborhood council representative speaking on behalf of their neighborhood council must provide a letter on their letterhead stating the neighborhood council's position on the matter. Absent any neighborhood council documentation, comments may still be provided during the public comment period. We ask that speakers state whether they are providing general public comment and/or which other item or items they are speaking on before they begin to comment so that the staff can appropriately time them. If the speaker does not specify which items they are speaking on, 1 minute will be provided. PowerPoint presentations presented to the commission today, whether it's by the department or applicants, will be posted online and made available to the public via DCR's website within 2 business days. Please be aware that after 6 p.m., if you leave the 9th floor and wish to return, you will need to check in with security on the 1st floor to re-enter and access the elevators to the 9th floor. Please turn off your cell phones or place them on vibrate so as not to disturb the meeting. Please be respectful. Disruptions will not be tolerated. If you disrupt the proceedings, you will receive 2 warnings. If you continue the disruptive behavior, you will be asked to leave the meeting. We will now open general public comment on single or multiple agenda items. General public comment will be limited to 1 hour today. Speakers can address the commission on non-agenda related items that are within the jurisdiction of the commission or provide public comment for items in today's agenda. The first speaker is Elliot Lewis.
Please state your name and which items you wish to speak on.
My name's Elliot Lewis. I'm speaking on general comment, and I think the 2 cannabis items, whatever they are, 6 and 7, I think.
You have 3 minutes.
7 and 8. Yeah, look, I just want to address this council and say how disappointed I am in the city of LA and the people that sit here. There's zero political will to care about businesses in this city that have chosen to be in cannabis. You guys could fix this if you want to fix it, but your best idea, because you all want to grift money and steal it and put it in your own pocket, is to add another 100 licenses. Why would you add another 100 licenses to a process that's an abject failure? Nobody here thinks that you're actually doing a good job. You guys won't even look at me. You know you're doing that bad of a job, right? I appreciate you looking at me. You're still doing a bad job, with all due respect. At the end of the day, there is 3,800 trap shops in LA. They're paying no tax. If we could just get the treatment that the trap shops get, we would be elated. Leave us alone, charge us no tax. There's no reason why an infinitesimal amount of the businesses in LA are paying for 17% of the total tax. We will be withholding our taxes indefinitely until some services are provided. And insomuch as whatever threat comes down from the DCR, it's hardly a threat. The torturous existence of doing business in the city of LA is offensive. In addition to that, the salaries that everybody up here is making is outrageous. And if this is the way that we ran our businesses, we'd all be out of business. In fact, not one person here, I don't know you personally, could hold any job at Catalyst. You wouldn't last 3 seconds at Catalyst. This is a total and complete abject failure. And everybody sits here with this smug look and these ridiculous ideas that would never work. But it's because it's a scam. And you know it's a scam. And what's the solution to the scam? More licensing fees. Because what it's always been about is money. It's not about opportunity. It's not about social equity. It's not about legalization. What it is about us playing middleman to the city of LA to collect taxes from our consumers. At some point, I'm hoping that somebody on this panel has a little bit of decency, a little bit of humanity, and a little bit of shame. But I've come to believe that you're all lizard people. You're not even human. You don't care about anything except your cushy little jobs, your salmon salads, and your Cobb lunches. We're here to say we want equal treatment. We want to be treated with respect and dignity. And if 70% of the people are behind, to add another 100 licenses that nobody even wants, with all due respect, actually, forget it. With no respect, is the stupidest, greediest, griftiest idea I've ever heard. And somebody, again, should have an ounce of humanity, an ounce of decency, and an ounce of respect for the city and do something. It's offensive. Equity for the people, weed for the people.
Christina Clark.
Hi, my name is Christina Clark. My business is CC.
Please state what items you're speaking
Oh,
on,
I'm
please.
speaking on public comments,
General?
general comments.
You have 1
I legally
minute.
surrendered my license at 3361 East Union Pacific. So everything after that date, Blake, Corey Blake, I can name like a lot of DCR members. I am a stockholder and so is Lewis. And I don't know who is putting my face on the internet of fraudulent emails. So you're putting me in harm's way. Okay, and I can't speak too much about this. I just want to look at everyone's face because this is an ongoing investigation. Thank you.
Pedro Ordonez.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Hello, my name is Pedro Ordóñez. I'm speaking on items 7 and 9.
You have 2 minutes.
Okay. I would just like to play a recording that I believe one of the commissioners has requested to be taxes to be put on the agenda.
This is Commissioner Melendez. Can we put just on the agenda just some kind of paperwork to be able to address some of the concerns that some of the applicants here and some of the people that have their licenses, for us to be able to, as a committee, be able to just understand a little more what's happening, because there's such a backlash, and I feel for them being a former business owner in the liquor community. Is there any way we can do that?
Are there specific areas?
I believe just to see what the trail of taxation, where it comes.
Taxation is on the next meeting agenda?
Yes. So I guess we could resolve a lot of it then.
It's on the next meeting agenda. Anything else?
That's it.
Okay, thank you.
And I believe we're in the meeting now, and the item's still not brought up. Like Elliot said, we're your partners. We're an operator here. We've just been open for over a year. Bunch of legal shops all around us, and nothing seems to be done. A lot of the old jurisdictions that open cannabis have lowered down their tax rates. You guys are still one of the highest ones right now. So just ask that you guys work with, the operators. We're coming to you guys to basically find a resolution. We didn't increase anything. Why should our fees increase? We sat here paying over 5 years every year just to keep our license open and active. And, you know, we just want fair opportunity from you guys, and listen to us, please. We're partners in this. You guys take 30% of our business when it comes to, you know, money that I don't see. So thank you and appreciate your time, guys.
Philip Del Rio.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
My name is Philip Del Rio. I'm speaking on items number 7 and 9.
You have 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm the VP of operations for a cannabis dispensary. We have 2 stores in Los Angeles, one of which is a social equity business in Koreatown, as well as one of the original medical shops in LA, which we have operated for over 20 years. As stated in our co-signed letter to the Commission, we stand here with our other retail colleagues and strongly oppose DCR's recommendations. To put it simply, these recommendations will certainly collapse many, if not most, of the current operators. The city report claims these recommendations are to make the overall commercial application more business-friendly. Okay, fine. But what about the hundreds of licensed businesses who have followed the law and provided revenue to the city for the past years? What about us? How are these recommendations friendly to our business? Both of our LA stores combined have seen a 20% decrease in foot traffic and revenue over the last 2 years, as more and more illegal shops open all around our stores. Most of us today are now faced with the reality that we will likely have to shut our doors in the near future, or stop paying the out-of-whack fees and taxes. We are evaluating all of those options. We are prepared to stop paying taxes as well. The DCR's recommendations are truly the nail in the coffin for retailers like us. We urge the DCC to focus on the job at hand. Focus on enforcing the closure of up to 4,000 illegal shops, right-sizing the taxes, and let's start being business-friendly to the shops that are doing it right. Thank you.
Chris Martinez.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking
My
on.
name is Chris Martinez. I'm speaking on items, I believe, 7, 9, and general public comments.
You
I
have
just
3
wanna-
minutes.
Just want to make a clarification. The agenda item in regards to taxation is not what we're looking for. We're not looking to study or research or see how we could tax unlicensed businesses that aren't registered, they're illegal shops. How are you even going to reach out to them and get them to pay taxes? And number 2, how to get people that are behind on taxes, current on taxes, that's another long, it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for lowering the taxes and getting a fair rate, especially for us licensed operators that have been getting beat left and right. Comments I wanted to make. In February, President Mason formally requested that this commission place a dedicated agenda item to discuss the overtaxation of licensed cannabis operators. The request was ignored for over 3 months. Instead of honoring it, staff has buried the issue under a laundry list of complex agenda items, which you see on top of the items today, effectively dodging the discussion. Operators and stakeholders have spent countless hours researching, preparing, and organizing to have a serious, productive conversation about the taxation issue and how it's affecting us negatively. The department's failure to provide clear and timely platform for that engagement is a blatant dismissal of our time and effort and our investment in this system. This agenda, crammed with sweeping policy items, including enforcement, fee increases, and other items that just buries what we need to talk about to address the issues, is not conducive to a healthy industry or a back and forth healthy communication of what we're trying to do with you guys. This commission has, I would suggest that the commission either cancel the meeting today or restructure the agenda, because all the agenda items in themselves could take up an entire meeting. They have very profound effects on how we operate and how it's going to affect our business on top of the taxes, on top of the fees. I would say break the agenda items into focused individual sessions where each can receive adequate public input, and place a clear standalone agenda item explicitly addressing overtaxation of licensed cannabis operators in Los Angeles, which was originally requested by President Mason. Let's be clear, the commission is here to engage with us, to work with us, and take advice and input from us to create a healthy industry where we can thrive. That's not taking place right now. And I don't want to call any other staff members out, but for some reason, the agenda item is still not on here. We're not having a productive conversation. We're dragging our feet, and it's hurting us. Legal operators are fighting to survive under the high tax rates and fees, one of the highest tax rates and fees in all the state. We're paying the most and comparable to other cities, other jurisdictions. We're not getting enforcement help to shut down the illegal shops. We're not in a place where we could thrive, be successful, or healthy. Enforcement against illegal operations remains minimal. DCR's current approach is pushing consumers back into the illicit market, creating a public health crisis in its own making. What you guys are doing to us is forcing us not to be able to provide what our customers are looking for at a price they're looking for. So what do? They go to the shops that could give them a $5 eighth. It's
Thank
just,
you. Your time is up.
it's creating a health crisis for the public.
Tiffany Wright?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Good afternoon. My name is Tiffany Wright. I am speaking on general public comment and agenda items 6, 7, and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, commissioners, DCR staff, and meeting attendees. Some tough acts to follow, but I'll do my best. So, my name is Tiffany Wright. For the past 17 years of my life, I have devoted myself to working mostly behind the scenes as a community organizer and a consultant, helping businesses in the cannabis space with operations, compliance, licensing, go-to-market strategy, marketing, taxation. Most of my work now is accounting and finance, and let me just tell you, these operators are going extinct, and it's as a direct result of the actions of City Council, the Cannabis Commission, and lastly, DCR. So the number one point that I want to make is that if you do not want to continually traumatize and perpetuate harm against these people, you must immediately instruct the City Council to lower the taxes. Number one, first and foremost. There is no other path forward. You will be incurring massive amounts of generational karma. And, let's just say that the city of LA is already seeing some of the effects of the poor decisions that have been made financially and is in a state of disaster, and this will only make it worse. So I also want to speak to the fact that in a previous meeting, somebody said, and I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous, but I shouldn't be because I actually know more about cannabis than anybody up here, anybody at DCR, and most people in this room, maybe not everybody, but most. So I'm going to try to have some confidence here, but let me just say that in a previous meeting, somebody said that social equity operators, and this is a group of people that I have passionately supported for many years before it was au courant, before it was a catchphrase that politicians would use to further their own agendas, so that they were put in a position where they were being set up to fail. We know this to be true because of the taxation, the fees that are crazy, and that they were provided with no training and no support. So as somebody who provides that training and who provides that support, I can say that that's absolutely correct. But I also want to speak on behalf of the legacy operators, the EMMDs, who I helped for about 10 years before adult use legalization, because they're going extinct. So these operators, who are some of the most experienced cannabis professionals in the world, 90% of the original operators have gone out of business or have had no other choice than to sell their stakes in their businesses, and I think that that's wrong. So I do call for unity in the industry between social equity and legacy operators. It's us versus them. It's not us versus us, first and foremost. Secondly, I did offer to Cat Packer and to DCR in 2017 to help structure this industry in a way that would prevent financial trauma and undue harm. Requiring applicants to hold real estate
Thank
for
you.
more
Your
than
time
a
is up.
year is wrong.
Daniel Sosa?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
My name is Daniel Sosa. I'm speaking general public comment and items 7 and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Yeah, I still don't understand how the discussion about overtaxation hasn't made it onto the agenda. That's been requested multiple times now. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. Legal cannabis is in crisis in Los Angeles. Retail cannabis dispensaries owe over $280 million in back taxes to the city, for an average of over $1 million per dispensary. That's not social equity, that's social debt. Okay. There are two solutions to this problem. One is eliminate illegal dispensaries who pay zero tax. But that's not possible. The city's proven it. They've shown they're not capable of shutting down the illegal dispensaries. So the only other solution is to lower the taxes, the tariffs that are strangling our industry. Alcohol and tobacco are taxed at a fraction of 1% in the city. Those things kill people. Cannabis is taxed at 10%, and we have to compete against unlicensed dispensaries. Please stand with us and our industry. We're asking you, cannabis commissioners, to please use the powers bestowed upon you to get the city council's attention. Make an official recommendation to the city council to lower the tax rate to less than 1%. Legalization and social equity is supposed to be a tool to address the trauma caused by the war on drugs. But instead, it's causing more trauma. It's causing financial trauma. This is not okay, and we need our city leaders to take action on our behalf so that we can start healing financially. Thank you.
First name is Amon, last name starts with an M. I can't pronounce that.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
My name is Aman Magalhães. I'll be speaking about just general comment, but also items 5, 7, and 9, please.
You have 3 minutes.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here today with one clear message. The Los Angeles Department of Cannabis Regulation has failed and needs to be completely dismantled. Regarding agenda item number 7, the DCR's proposed fee study, this is yet another predatory cash grab to operators who built this industry. You're proposing to increase our fees while the DCR services remain catastrophically broken. Applications sit for 8 to 12 months without review. Emails go unanswered for weeks. Modifications take years. And your solution is to charge us more? This is government malpractice. Agenda item number 9. Cannabis businesses in LA are subjected to an effective tax rate of approximately 45%. For comparison, the alcohol industry pays roughly 12 to 15%. Even gambling pays about 25% taxation. Show me any legitimate business that can survive with a 45% tax burden while competing with an untaxed illicit market. Yet somehow squeezing licensed operators further is the priority. As for agenda item number 5, the LAPD's enforcement report. I can take you on a tour of 50 illegal shops operating openly within a 3-mile radius of City Hall right now. The report you're receiving today is a fantasy. It is completely untrue. These unlicensed shops sell untested products at half our prices with zero consequences. Meanwhile, legal operators face crippling compliance costs, extortionate taxes, and endless red tape. The fundamental question is, what is the benefit of operating legally in Los Angeles? The DCR doesn't serve the operators who built this industry. We followed your rules, paid your fees, jumped through every hoop, and our reward is being regulated out of existence while illegal operators thrive. The average cannabis retailer in LA has a profit margin of less than 1% after taxes and compliance costs. It is mathematically impossible to survive here. I implore this commission to, number 1, begin the process of dismantling the current DCR structure. Number 2, an immediate tax holiday and forgiveness plan of taxes owed for social equity retailers. And number 3, direct resources towards shutting down illegal operations before legitimate businesses are extinct. The current system is not just failing, it's actively destroying the legal market you claim to want. If nothing changes, within 18 months there will be no legal operators left to regulate, and it will be no one's fault but everyone in this commission. Also, removing call-in comments as of today was a disgrace, but thank you very much.
Pedro Ordonez. Pedro Ordonez has spoken. There are 2 speaker cards for you. Ouija Whittemore or Whitemore?
Please state your
Sorry if
name
I
and which
stuttered that.
items you're speaking on.
Excuse me, you may not address the commission directly. Only the speakers may do that. Thank you.
Hi, guys. I'm Ouija Whittemore. I'm here representing Tuan Cannabis.
Which items are you speaking on, ma'am?
7-9 and general comment.
You have 3 minutes.
Great. I'd like to play a video, recording first.
I will say that parts of this meeting did not go as I had envisioned today. I am going to step out on a limb and say to the constituents who did appear with different expectations, I'm going to extend apologies. On behalf of this commission, I will also say my vision was that this would be the day that we go beyond the 10. And the 10 is the 10 minutes that we usually afford applicants to present. That we would have engaged in some dialogue. That we would have made some steps towards recommendations from this commission to the city for improvements where we believe they should be, where we believe they are necessary. That did not occur. I do believe in the old adage, wisdom says that there's a time and a place for everything, and unfortunately, today was not the time. I do hope that time appears sometime in the future, sooner than later, but my apologies to you and to this commission for the conversation that did not take place. The time is 4:57, and this meeting is adjourned.
Okay, so I want to begin by calling attention to the process today. As you just heard, we were told this meeting would be focused on taxes, and many of us came prepared for exactly that. But now we're facing a full slate of new agenda items that were not previously disclosed. This is a perfect example of how transparency is lacking in the way these meetings are conducted. When stakeholders are misled or given incomplete information, it undermines trust and limits our ability to meaningfully participate in shaping the policy that affects our businesses, our communities, and our future. So I have to ask, why wasn't the original agenda honored? And how are we supposed to engage in good faith when the ground keeps shifting beneath us? We deserve clear, consistent communication, and we demand accountability when that standard is not met. Thank you.
Timothy Dodd. Timothy Dodd?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Tim Dodd, general comment, 5 and 7.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. The legal cannabis market in LA should have been the best in the state. Instead, it's collapsing. And the DCR is accelerating that collapse. DCR proposed zoning changes far beyond your mandate, with no analysis, no secret review, and no public process. Those changes will destabilize compliant operators and open the door to speculation, predatory lending, and displacement. At the same time, enforcement is non-existent. In 2018, there were roughly 800 illegal storefronts in LA. There are now today nearly 4,000. LA DCI has over 5,000 open complaints it has not even addressed and has failed to act. Let's be honest, the social equity program in this city has failed, not because of the applicants, but because you have failed to protect them. You have left our most vulnerable entrepreneurs exposed, unsupported, and alone. The city must decide it can support the legal market or be remembered for letting it die. Reduce the taxes, create enforcement plans, and stop messing with zoning, Mr. Killeen. We're saturated and we need support. We do not need more stores that will fail. Item 5, the poet Chuck D said it best, 911 is a joke in this town. Today, there are nearly 4,000 illegal operators. Reporting an illegal dispensary requires weeks of follow-up, weeks of calls that are directed to 311, LAPD petitions to NARC and Vice, and political pressure to maybe get a squad car response. Meanwhile, we pay 40% in taxes while competing with untaxed, unlicensed shops that operate with impunity. If you want to see how it can work, you could actually just walk over to Pasadena. You have this in your packet. Pasadena closed down all the stores in their town. They shut down every illegal shop in their jurisdiction. The cost? $8,000 per store. LA collected over $90 million in cannabis tax revenue last year alone. 1/3 of that, $32 million, would have shut down the entire illegal market here if you gave a damn. The social equity program hasn't failed because of its participants, it's failed because of you. Item 7, let's be clear, if you adopt the DCR proposal that Mr. Clean wrote, you're putting a bullet in the head of our legal cannabis industry here in LA. The City Council gave the DCR a narrow mandate. Instead, you flipped it completely, not to protect EMMD grandfathering, but to propose a sweeping, citywide zoning change with no authority. You don't have that authority, no analysis, and no public process. This isn't just bad zoning policy, it's the lazy work product of an out-of-touch bureaucracy that shows zero intellectual curiosity about the market it supposedly regulates. We are facing a collapsing legal industry.
Thank you. Your time is up.
Fix this.
Sunshine.
Please state your name and which items you wish
What
to
up,
speak
what up?
on.
Sunshine Pernigo, items 7, 9, and general comment.
You have 3 minutes.
What's up, Commission? Good to see you as always. We out here shining. I can only imagine what it feels like to be grilled by the entire cannabis industry right now, and we get to play listening to each other. Honestly, I wish I could just remit my time and listen to what your thoughts are, but we're in this Brown Act thing, so you guys can't speak to us. And I understand that. And it feels like super stonewalled the same way it does when we're talking to somebody behind one of these like glass things when we try to reach out and they're like, hey, listen, like we have nothing. But anyway, so I haven't not had an active business because at first I got approval, temporary approval, and then the state license went out, so I wasn't operating. Nevertheless, and I wasn't even at my location because, like, what am I gonna go and just sit there by myself, like, crying? So I have to do things other than, you know, run the business. So when I go show up over there, there's like a bunch of these letters, and they're sending me a tax, like, notification like that's sitting there in the, you know, in my mailbox, and they think that like I'm operating. And then they send me this other one that says, hey, Sunshine, guess what? You owe $50,000 in taxes. And I'm like, really? How's that possible? And my question is, how is the Department of DCR communicating with the Office of Finance and letting them know like what's happening? So they're just making these assumptions. We as leaders know not to make assumptions. We know that we get to be clear and direct, especially when we're at the forefront, when we are the generals. So you guys are listening right now to the frontline workers who are lubing the machine, and you guys are driving the machine. So I'm asking you to please listen to what these people are saying. I mean, they have some really strong points. And even if you change the way things are going in the agenda, like really address these issues. So this goes to say, if there's no communication between the Department of Cannabis Regulation and the DCC and the Office of Finance, how is there going to be organization? How are you guys expecting for us to be organized? And at the same time, as leaders, there is no organization on your end. So how are these people going to well, listen, we're going to get organized over here. We basically have like a new old, this is like the new old union right here that's happalacking. And you guys are like on the other end, like driving the union workers, you know what I'm saying? So we're going to get together and we're going to be like, listen, this is not the way to do it. So just give us a listen, give us some smiles, give us some like leeway, and like show us that the leadership is happening in the right way. With that being said, thank you all so much. And I do leadership trainings. You guys want to stop by, hold hands, do some other stuff? We out here, we're shining. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Luis Rivera.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Luis Rivera, general comment, and 7.
You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Luis Rivera, and I'm here not only as an advocate, but a licensee who for years has faced repeated delays, unclear guidance, unnecessary financial strain, and it's all caused by the Department of Cannabis Regulation. Before the city council or you guys look to approve a fee study or conduct another lottery, the DCR needs to fix what it's broken. The licensing process is overly complicated, duplicative, as far as too slow and for us to thrive as real businesses. The fee study should have been done by an independent third party with input from actual licensees holders, and specifically those social equity individuals like ourselves. Yet since 2020, the DCR has doubled its staff. It's looking to create a budget that's 140% more than it was when it started, and yet all we've seen is just more bureaucracy and slower time. Instead of growing its staff, the DCR should shrink its budget, reduce unnecessary roles, and focus its resources on clearing the backlog and supporting all legal operators. For example, I've submitted a license surrender form in May of 2025 for a location. We weren't able to continue, yet the DCR still forced us to pay a 2025 annual application fee for a license I surrendered in May 2024, or face collection from the city. Also, the DCC, that was actually with that, that's an extra $8,000 to small business we had to pay. Asking the DCR why, Jason knows he's been part of these emails, why does a business that was abandoned in May of 2024 have to pay an annual application fee in 2025? It makes no sense, or be faced with collection. Second of all, the DCC
Thank you.
just
Your
got an
time is up.
email that they're not raising fees. I don't see why DCR.
Elizabeth Renteria.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Elizabeth Renteria, items 5, 7, and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay.
Can you please bring the mic down?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, commissioners. I'm a licensed social equity cannabis operator. Since February, we've been promised a special tax meeting. However, that promise is broken again today. After my shop was burglarized twice this year, we are on the brink of closure. There are thousands of unlicensed shops in the city of LA. In my immediate area alone, there are at least 5 illegal dispensaries within a few blocks in either direction. And that's not counting the 24/7 tobacco shops next door that also sell unregulated cannabis products. The social equity program was meant to create opportunity and repair harm, but instead this leadership has failed to properly implement Measure M, leading to financial ruin and creating a thriving illicit market that jeopardizes public safety. My family gave up everything to pursue this dream. We believed in what this program promised. We're not asking for special treatment, we're asking for a fighting chance. We need productive conversations, and we need to prioritize a special taxation meeting as a standalone item. Replace failed leadership with individuals who will fight for equity and the licensed industry and not against it. Thank you.
Daniel Corral.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Corral. I am speaking on items 7 and 9 in general comment as well.
You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I am actually not a storefront owner. I am a vendor, manufacture and distribute products. My previous company grew to become the 3rd largest cannabis company by revenue and distribution footprint, and also, and one of the things that I see here, one of the issues then and the issue now continues to be the illicit market. There's a significant amount of shops that cannot compete just based on pricing alone. In Los Angeles, it's become increasingly difficult for most shops to survive. I've had the opportunity to speak to hundreds of shop owners over the last several years since we went recreationally legal here. And I would say that this is an existential crisis right now. Most shops are at the razor's edge of like going out of business. Same way with many of the manufacturers here as well. You know, many of the manufacturers in California are on the brinks of like going out of business. You know, and the one thing that we can't, if we're not going to enforce what's going on with the illegal stores, at the very least, we can help compete against them by lowering these taxes. It's just, it's not a viable solution here. And I think that there's going to come a point where there's going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and I think we're getting very close to that. That's it.
Prince Oyadeye.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Surely. My name is Prince Osajefu Oyadeye. I'm here with general comments, items 7 and 8.
You have 3 minutes.
And I'm here and I'm actually fighting back the tears because I actually believed in this program. And I wanted this industry to thrive in this city where I've been a resident of my life. If the social equity program is not restorative justice, it's not reparations for the war that was fought against me and those like me in my community, then what is it? Priority processing? Let's talk about that. I have an applicant in this room right now who waited 5 months just to get a pre-app review done. I know another applicant that's not in this room that waited 75 days with no communication after the fees were paid for a pre-application review to come back and say no. I know another applicant who waited 9 months for something that was promised to take 30 days, 90 at the most, for a pre-app review. So where is the priority processing? And now they want to increase the fees. That makes no sense. And I would ask this commission to please write a letter to the city council in opposition to raising the fees, because it makes no sense. And as a social equity operator and applicant, we already pay higher processing fee than anyone else. And that has to come out of our pocket since we're no longer going to get any direct assistance, which we desperately need. In addition, I would like to end with, just listen to us and know that the taxes is a major burden. I'm also licensed in the state of Nevada. Local jurisdictions there charge 2% tax. There's no reason for us to be at 10 and 42% cumulatively. You're pushing the people who want to shop legally into the illicit market. The higher the taxes are, the more the customers will go to the illicit market. That's all I want to say. Thank you.
Ravine McSweeney.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Robin McSweeney, general comment 7 and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. As I stated, my name is Robin McSweeney. I've been up here multiple times. I've said my story, and at times it definitely feels like I am talking to a brick wall or people that seem to care but don't really care. So I'm going to take a pause on my story. I am going to echo what many people have said about the special taxation meeting that we were all promised and looking forward to. Like, I literally had to leave my dispensary. I'm short-staffed, to come here with that expectation to be completely discouraged yet again. I also want to talk about priority processing, or maybe priority salaries, more so. When it was time, thank you, Sunshine. When it was time for these pro bonos. And the pro bonos, the low bonos were no bonos at all. I had my first partnership. They left us after 6 months of opening, left us holding the bag. And I reached out to DCR for pro bono assistance, and there was none. So while DCR is, championing all of the great things they've done, the fact that they're not being honest about who actually benefits from these, which is none of us. So that I want to say first and foremost. Then also, it has taken over a month for a modification that I needed for a DCR inspection. I have tried and I follow up every day. And then when I finally beg, and shout out to Andrew Washington, who's not even my analyst, who has been trying his hardest to help me. He was my analyst, and now whoever is my analyst is not even analysting. It has taken over a month to try and get things done. And then when I finally get something, then DCR gives me, if I don't have this submitted in 30 days, you're not going to get any help, when I waited over 30 days. So it's very frustrating to hear someone say all this amazing things they've done, and it has not benefited not one of us in this room who are bootstrapped, feet on the ground, operating these stores. And again, we are getting squeezed. How are we going to have more licenses when we haven't fixed the problem at hand? It's putting lipstick on a pig. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful. And again, financial ruin, trauma, all of these catchphrases that are our lives that have been talked about before me. We are all in this suffering, and
Thank
to
you.
hear
Your
him
time is
say
up.
that it wasn't to right the wrongs, it was a regulatory opportunity, it's wild.
Aja Allen.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
My name is Aja Allen. I'll be speaking on general public comment, item 7 and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Again, here we are again. I want to echo everything everybody's been saying here today. Robin McSweeney Klein is my business partner. We both own Dope Sugar locations. We're singing the same song, right? I want to talk about real numbers though, and what I'm up against every single day, every month, every year. I've been in business almost 4 years now. I've had to put my marriage, I divorced. I wanted to have children. I'm 40. It's not happening because of this, right? So while we're talking about real numbers, I make roughly $120,000 a month at my dispensary, right? 40% of that is $72,000, right? So that leaves me with roughly $70K, right? A little less. My rent is $22,000 because there were landlords taking advantage of us because they knew what we were up against. And we had partnerships that were not protecting us. DCR did not protect us. Pro bono was not available. So we signed these opportunity of a lifetime contracts because we thought that this was going to create generational wealth for us, right? I come from retail. I didn't know anything about cannabis, but I knew that this was a great opportunity, not for my family, but for the jungles where I'm from, Crenshaw and King, okay? They don't make it out where I come from. They just don't. And when we do, we need to set an example, right? So that's 120. I'm down to 70,000 roughly, right? That's rent, 22,000. Security, 24 hours, $15,000 a month because I've been broken into 6 times since I've been open and the cops don't do nothing, okay? Payroll, $25,000. Weed maps, $5,000. Insurance, $2,000. Accounting service, $2,000. That leaves me with $2,000 and I haven't even bought any product. No product is in my store. So when we talk about
people are, well, what's going on? Why aren't there footsteps? Because I don't have product. I'm so busy trying to keep up with taxes and rent and my payroll and pay my people. I can't survive like this, guys. We cannot survive like this. We need your help. We've come in, I think, in every single, way to try to communicate. We've come in begging, we've come in aggressive, we've come in speaking every single language to try to be received. And it's like, we're not here because we just like to hear ourselves talk. I don't like to hear myself talk. I actually hate my voice. But I got 10 families that I employ. I got 10 people who
Thank
work.
you. Your time is
and
up.
that's 10 families I'm gonna have to let go of if I have to shut my store, guys. Come on now, give us some relief.
Kathy Guyton?
Was this public comment or I said number 2? Because I'm speaking as a neighborhood council.
You would be speaking under number, you have 2 speaker cards?
Yes, for number 9.
And so number 2 is technically just an announcement, it's not the agenda item. So you would be speaking under number 9, and we're not there yet.
But I wanted to also make a public comment as a neighborhood council as well.
Okay, can you fix the card? And
Well, that's the one she gave me.
no, but you put item 2, and that's not public comment.
Okay, so number 1.
There you go.
Thank you.
That'll be $100.
You guys are funny.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
This is just the general public comment. I am also, my name is Kathy Guyton. I'm with Empowerment Congress West, the Neighborhood Council.
You have 1 minute.
Okay. I just wanted to say, we will be speaking at number 9. I hope not, because this is insulting. This is not what we asked for, and the blatant disrespect and disregard for President Mason's request is unacceptable. She's asked for a special meeting several times, and this is what we get. Each of these items could be an hour in itself, and I'm not going to be here until 11 o'clock at night. I don't know about you guys. So number 9 needs to be tabled, and again, if 5, people who wrote the report from 5 would talk to the people who reported from 9, this wouldn't even happen. This is disrespectful, and as I guess the city attorney said, we also need a clarification of why this isn't being, why people can't call in. Because if we can't talk to you and ask the questions, then you need to give us the answer. Thank you.
Kika Keith?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Kika Keith. I'm speaking on general comment 7-9.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. I'm disappointed, Commissioner Farnby, Commissioner Mason, Commissioner Melendez. You've heard our stories time and time again, which is why you called for a special tax meeting. Because you've heard from Jason Killeen and his staff time and time again, and it doesn't make sense what you hear. I've heard the questions. I heard you ask in the last meeting. We need to hear what the people have to say. We can't say it in 1 minute. The other thing that you said, Commissioner Mason, is you wanted it to be a dialogue. You guys should be asking us questions, and according to the Brown Act, and I'll read it, in Section 54954.2, you have the ability to respond to statements made or questions posed by persons exercising their public testimony rights under Section 54954.3. And in addition, on your own initiative, you have the ability to respond to questions posed by the public. And also, you may, and your staff, ask questions for clarification. That's what today was supposed to be about. These reports that Jason Killeen will present to you today in the Police Commission, I asked you to table them. You all first have to do your homework. I asked you to to go watch the recent Go Committee meetings and watch how those council members cross-examine Jason Colleen and the inconsistencies of these fee studies, of the police reports, of the enforcement reports. They are inconsistent. When they get in front of the budget hearing, listen to those. He says completely different things in those meetings. They're going to have they're going to address our issues that we've been talking about the supplanting. The state audit is on here. Have you read the state audit report? Have you listened to the inconsistencies in their statement about the $10 million? First they got to give it back, now they don't got to give it back? It is important. You guys represent us. There is no due process if we don't have the ability to come in front of the commission, the counselors, and have the respect to hear what the problems are. And there's obviously problems that they say there's $300 million in tax debt, which is actually non-legitimate. You just heard him say he ain't even operating, and he has $50,000. I can tell you how many payments that I made to the Office of Finance that got returned, and I didn't get it back for 6 months, yet they say I'm $1 million in debt. A goddamn lie. But you wouldn't know it if I had, I got 33 seconds left. I ain't even said nothing that's on my thing to give you information, data, statistics. If you look at the information I gave you, I was hoping to have a whole presentation. You said we get more than the 10 minutes. I got 3 minutes. Unacceptable. There has to be a point, Commission, where you stand up for what is right. Otherwise, you're being complicit to the lies, the deceit, the misappropriation of funds, the misconduct, the negligence that is killing people. This is real. This is our lives, and you have heard us saying this since 2017, and it has to end.
Your time is up.
Brandon
Excuse me,
Benson.
please, excuse me.
Resign! Do the right thing. Resign.
Brandon Brinson.
How could you have any integrity? Resign. Shame on you.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
You just heard of the Brown Act, and you have nothing to say? City Attorney, can you confirm that's correct? They can speak.
President Mason, you may continue the meeting however you would like.
Can y'all speak? Ask her.
Mr. Brinson.
Please state your name and the items you wish to speak on.
My name is Brandon Brinson. I'm General Public Comment 7 and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
Months later, instead of prioritizing the urgent tax crisis, the Commission continues to allow DCR's agenda to take precedent while our businesses continue to struggle. This ongoing failure to address taxation is not just a broken promise, it's a systematic negligence. We demand the immediate termination of Jason Colleen. You, brother, you got to go. Every last one of y'all, to be honest with you. We demand the immediate termination of Jason Colleen and the DCR leadership for their continuous failure to implement Measure M, their lack of leadership in implementing City Council instructions on enforcement against illegal operators and their disregard for social equity businesses. We also demand that the long promised special meeting on cannabis taxation be scheduled immediately, allowing social equity and industry operators to the space to share their realities on our struggles. Enough is enough. Either the Commission stands up to the DCR's overreach or admits it's complicit in our downfall. Jason Colleen, you got to be fired, dog. You got to go right now. You don't do shit compared to what Karen Bass do. You should not be making way more money than her, bro. Y'all suck. And every last thing y'all doing, y'all turning everything into a circus. And whoever the new hire is that I see coming from Uber, that's fucking trash. He don't know shit, y'all don't know shit. And it's all a fucking circus in this motherfucker.
Madison Shockley.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
How dare you guys? My name is Madison Shockley III. Born and raised in the city of Los Angeles. How dare you? How dare you hold this meeting?
So what items are you speaking on?
3 minutes, 3 items, 7, 9 general comments.
Thank you.
What, like there's some real order in here or something? Seriously? Who are we kidding? Who are we kidding? Ms. Mason? You have nothing to say. You could talk. This is embarrassing. For months, you apologized to us 2 months ago because it wasn't on the agenda. Why would you hold this meeting? Do you have no dignity to say my authority has been thwarted by this department and this is my commission, and if I can't get my request on the agenda, the meeting can't happen? Why degrade us and our dignity in this process? We pay taxes. We pay for you to be here. Are y'all holding this meeting because you get paid? Because I can't think of another reason why you would go forward with this when your own agenda is not being heard after all these months. Anything to say? Anything? I'll see the rest of my 2 minutes to wait for it.
You're going to cede.
Okay. You could say that, but you can't respond.
You got a soul? We've got a soul.
Wow.
Everybody up here have a soul. That's what I want to know. You got heart? You got a soul?
Commissioner Lim resigned. Tell us why Commissioner Lim resigned. Because he knew y'all weren't going to do nothing. I was escorted out by the police last time I was here because I begged Mr. Melendez to make a motion to put social equity on the agenda. The only reason I left without being arrested to leave out of here was because you tried to do it. You stumbled, and Commissioner Mason, you pushed him off it. You said, oh, we're talking about taxes next meeting. Don't worry about it. Whose side are you on? Who are you helping here? You don't want social equity on the agenda? You're the only neighborhood council person here from South LA, and you don't want social equity on the agenda? Resign. Let somebody else come in here who could do the job and represent and have this happen correctly. Oh, you think it's funny? It's not funny. It's not funny. Our lives. That's why we come up here. Why am I wasting my time talking to a brick wall? It's that easy for you, huh? You looking at me like I'm the crazy one.
That's the game. Gaslight them. Gaslight them. Steal money and gaslight them. That's the game.
You know the truth. And you sit here and you hold up for these people, for Jason Killeen. How?
Thank
Is
you.
this not your
time is up.
commission?
Edgar Torres.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Howdy, Edgar Torres, item 78 GC.
You have 3 minutes.
Appreciate it. Well, what can I say that hasn't been said multiple times, right? But anger, tears, discontent, we've heard it all here. You've heard the same message from different operators at different scales telling you that the system is broken. The margins ain't there. There's no profit that we're chasing, if you would. We work with operators throughout the whole state, and they ain't wrong. These people behind me ain't wrong. On the state data chart, LA's dying, if it ain't dead already. And is that what you guys want to leave behind? Is that the legacy you want to leave behind for LA? The biggest market in California in cannabis, and it died in your hands because you won't speak up, because you won't do what's right? Is that the legacy you're going to leave behind to your constituents, to the people that look up to you, that think, oh man, the system, if it's broken, we can fix it? Come together. Come together with these operators. They operate at different scales, so they know the different ins and outs and potholes. Together, you guys can make the solution. Adding more licenses and increasing taxes, that equation ain't gonna rock for long, guys. Come together with these people. I got 1.5 minutes left. Instead of just wasting it, I'm gonna let someone else come up here and talk because, man, you guys gotta listen. Or else, like I said, Olympics rolls around. Is this the Band-Aid y'all wanna be touting around? Come together. Clock's ticking just like that one. Please. Hearts, souls, I've heard everyone here. What's going on? We all work together. The taxes that get collected and get thrown in are part of the system, right? Protect them. They're your business cohorts. If they die, what's going to happen to all these budgets? You're already reallocating people that are, what was the word, impacted at different jobs so they came back. What is that? When they're telling you they can't make it. Pasadena, Tim Dow said what, 8K per shop? 8K. We ain't got 8K per shop? 4,000 to 360? Come on, y'all. At this point, I'd be like you too, looking away, not making eye contact, because I'd be ashamed of myself. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Thank you.
Mike Corvington?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Good afternoon, Mike Corvington, general comment, 7 and 9.
You have 3 minutes.
This is crazy. This is not working. I mean, everybody, the consistency across everybody's story, and this is a minute fraction of everybody in this state. I mean, this is a very, very small sample size of a much bigger systemic issue that's going on. And this is nothing new. This has been going on for years now. It's not working, and is truly sad to see. I'm born and raised in Los Angeles. I love this city, and Los Angeles should be the model for the rest of the country. And we've allowed it to become nothing, and it is failing. And instead of the place that it could be, it's the place where operators go out of business, where investors pull out, and dreams go to die now. And I will not allow it to be that place. I love this place way too much, in this community, way too much to just stand idle. You know, I came up here to say some other things, but like, this is really disheartening to see. You know, we've poured millions, you know, into taxes, into renewal fees. I'm a vertically integrated operator and brand here, and we have 6 different licenses, and we're hanging on by a thread. I've not met one operator who can legitimately say, we're killing it, we're doing well, you know, like. And there's no reason why that should be. There's tons of other businesses and industries where even in down economies, they're hanging in, they're doing okay, they're making ends meet. Why should it not be the case for cannabis industry? And as a result, we're shit on. And it's really sad to see. And I'm up here, this is not just about me and my ownership. I'm the custodian of over 100 employees, where if I can't sustain my business, that's the livelihoods and lives of a lot of other people that I'm responsible for too. So I'm not speaking up here just for myself or everybody here. This is for everybody who else is not here, that we're in this fight for them as well. And we need you guys to hear what we're saying and attempt to engage with us in good faith. We need partnerships. We need you guys to hear and truly make a good faith engagement to work with us for better policy, better tax rates, better fee structures. And until then, we need a moratorium on any new fee structures or increases in anything. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Your time is up.
David Bosworth?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
David Bosworth, agenda 7 and 9.
You have 2 minutes.
Right. I must be a little more scripted, unlike my partner Mike, with my approach. But my name is David Bosworth. I'm the owner, operator, and CEO of MVM Productions, Maven Genetics, and Kush Alley Inc. We're a vertically integrated cannabis operation, including branded sales and retail storefront. Naturally, we understand the pain points of the industry. I first want to thank the city of Los Angeles for drafting an ordinance and legalizing cannabis for adult use and medical use. I also want to thank you for allowing a non-monopolized approach in licensing, especially social equity, which we're gratefully part of. Unfortunately, the cannabis industry has been met with an over-regulatory compliance demands, expensive local license renewal fees, adult, medical, local tax, state excise tax, and license renewal fees. This excessive taxation and fees has put a burden on compliant operators and benefits the illicit market, resulting in a loss of taxable income. I would like to see local and state authorities that my taxable income provides a budget to do their jobs and eliminate the illicit market without additional fees to the compliant operators. I would also like to see the reduction in local and state renewal fees along with taxation in order to keep the legal market able to compete with the illicit market, if we're going to leave it alive and do nothing about it. Provide clean medical cannabis products and to flourish. We have seen in the history that it is better to get business tax revenue reduced rather than none at all. I believe this will happen if tax reform is and efficient operations of both DCR and DCC are not addressed. I believe the industry
Thank you. Your
will
time is
fail
up.
and all this effort will be for nothing. Let history fix before it is written.
Madlena Narmania.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Hi, Madlena Narmania for general comment.
1 minute.
Okay, so my team did enforcement on illegal cannabis shops. It's about 40 shops that are on weed maps. I'm saying again, as I said last time, they're working under 4 licenses. There is 1 license operates 20 illegal shops. Address was provided to DCC, DCR, tips to LAPD. All happened. LAPD came in. You cannot operate in city of Burbank. That's all. They have all illegal product. They're still there today at the same address. You got everything. You didn't do anything. So I have no idea why we're here, because they make $20,000 a day. I sometimes don't even make $100. I'm $1 million in. I'm about to get evicted from my
Thank you.
apartment.
Your time is up.
And getting repossessions on my car. Why they make $20,000?
Where is Irene? Are there any more speaker cards? Jarrett Kilch.
She's there, she can go. Is that fair?
That's fair. Brandy?
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
All right, my name is Brandy Brown, speaking 7 and 9, general public comment.
You have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Well, I'm a license holder, like everybody else here. I've been fighting this fight for 7 years now. Been in and out of 2 different predatory situations that have left me in personal debt and tax debt, and paying increasing fees and taxes going forward if I want to stay in the business. But if there's no us, there's no you. So remember that. But besides my personal problems, I want to put something else on you guys' mind. I want you guys to remember some names. Christian Avenito, October the 2nd, 2024. He was killed. He was caught in the crossfire in the Hyde Park area of LA at a legal shop over a dispute between an operator and a predatory lender. Wow. Okay, I know this predatory lender to be a predatory lender. I want you to think of people like him who was killed because you guys failed to protect us. I want you to think of people like Indica Morrison, who was my cousin, who has stage 3 ovarian cancer. She had her county benefits cut off because it was reported that she was an employee of this same predatory lender, who she was never an employee of. And during this time, the cancer grew. So now, chemo and prayers is our only option, when possibly before she could have had a life-saving surgery. So you guys got blood on your hands. And I want y'all to remember that, because you have failed to protect us. So this is what has been allowed to take place. Jason Colleen, you won't even look at us. There's no possible way you could be typing and listening at the same time. It's impossible. You cannot multitask like that. So we know you're not listening, but at least it's obvious. We know he don't care. But that speaks to the whole problem. This is the leadership. This is our leadership, who won't even look at us. So Jason Colleen should resign, like we said. The DCR needs to be dissolved, and we need fair taxation. We need tax forgiveness, and we need fair taxation and fair fees going forward. Thank you.
Please state your name and which items you're speaking on.
Jared Kylo on general comment, item number 5 and 7.
You have 3 minutes.
Been here for 12 years. 12 years running a dispensary here in the city of Los Angeles. We were here when Measure M, we wrote Measure M with the city, with the promises that we were going to take away the 800 competitors that were illegally operating. During those first 6 years before Measure M was passed, I paid 6% gross receipts tax, which means in the 12 years I've been here as an individual business, I have remitted to the city, just to the city, $7.2 million. Now, if you're not listening to someone who's remitted $7.2 million with 42 employees, what are you listening to? I sit across the street from the largest grocery store in LA, Ralph's. They pay 1.27% tax on their gross receipts. They're union organized. They're backed by the largest grocery store chain in the nation, Kroger's. And yet I sit across the street with like 1,200 square feet paying $7 million in taxes. It would take that grocery store that is over 40,000 square feet, the same amount of time, it would take them 15 years to even come close to the taxes I'm paying with 40 employees. We sat here with Measure M and said, guess what we're going to do? We're going to take away the illicit operators. We went from 800 to 4,000. We've made a big mistake here. We're seeing absolutely no enforcement. We're seeing no help. And with no enforcement and no help, where do you expect us to go? We're the honey badgers backed into a corner. We're going to fight our way out. We've been nimble our whole lives in cannabis because we've had to. We had to look over our shoulder for the police. And you know what? I welcome the police days in comparison to what we're dealing with here. I don't know why we're having this discussion without even talking about the elephant in the room, that it's not about enforcement. It's about price parity. That's all we're looking for. Give us a fighting chance to show the consumers of Los Angeles that we can provide the safe products that we promised them. Let's not forget, Measure M was voted in by 80.4% of the constituents of LA. 81%. They asked for something real. What are you giving us? You're giving us a farce that is saying you're protecting us, but you're not. You're putting undue pressure on us when it comes to predatory fees, predatory taxes, and our consumers are speaking. They're leaving our businesses. Let's be clear. This is a consumer tax that has taxed Angelenos $750 million, and you have not given them anything when they voted for Measure M at an 80% rate. $750 million for this joke? I'm glad the circus is really clear and the confetti's on the floor, because the reality here is you have
Thank you. Your time is
failed.
up.
Can Irene hear me? Josie, are there any other speaker cards?
We do not have any other speaker cards.
Then, nope, not yet. We are closing public comment at this time and moving on to item 2 on the agenda, which is an announcement regarding elected office and neighborhood council and other public entity presentations. This is a reminder that any representatives of neighborhood councils who have filed a resolution or a community impact statement with the city clerk which relates to any agenda item will be given time to speak during the item itself. Please provide a copy of the filed statement or resolution to the commission executive assistant. Any neighborhood council representative speaking on behalf of their neighborhood council must provide a letter on their letterhead stating neighborhood council's position on the matter. Absent neighborhood council documentation, comments may still be provided during the public comment period. We are on to item 3, which is commission business. Commissioners, you should have received an advance calendar in front of you with our future meeting dates. And please take a look and advise of any planned absences. Okay. Hearing none, we are moving on to the approval of minutes. We were sent the minutes of May 1st, 2025 for review. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
Commissioner Farmby, I make the motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Commissioner Melendez, I second.
Thank you. Mr. Rizzo, please call the roll.
Commissioner Farmby?
Aye.
Commissioner Melendez?
Aye.
President Mason?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to the next topic within this item, and we do have a letter of support for Council File 16-11-04S3. And we are, for some background, this is a motion from City Council regarding the use of racial slurs and certain profanities during public comment at City Council meetings. In other spaces, there have been discussions about expanding this, supporting the motion one and expanding it to cover neighborhood councils, commission meetings, and any other bodies who hold public meetings conducting city business. And that's pretty much the gist. This matter is in committee at this time. We do not know if it's going to be approved, how much traction it will receive post-approval, but I wanted to move forward with a letter of support on this item from this commission. Any questions, commissioners? Okay, is there a motion? Or I'll make the motion to provide a letter of support from this commission regarding Council File 16-1104-S3 with the provision that it be expanded to include all bodies who conduct business under the Brown Act on behalf of the City of Los Angeles.
Fuck all y'all!
Second.
Ms. Treviso, please call the roll.
President Mason?
Aye.
Commissioner Farmby?
Aye.
Commissioner Melendez?
Aye.
The motion passes.
Moving on to the commission announcement and updates. Are there any commission announcements and updates?
They'll make a motion about not cussing, but not about the real shit. Y'all some
Commissioners,
fuck,
any
bro. Y'all
announcements
some-
or updates?
Ain't got no passion, no heart. Y'all dirty as a motherfucker.
Hearing none, we are moving on to future
Y'all
agenda
make some
item
fucking
requests.
motion about not cussing,
We
but
have
won't listen to nothing we say.
a
Talk
motion
about some fucking
request
cuss words. And y'all some grown-ass
from
people, bro.
Vice President Nash
They talk about some fucking
for a
cuss words,
report
Jason
back.
Lane.
I'm sorry, President Mason, we cannot hear you.
Excuse me.
This some bullshit council meeting. Y'all will pass a motion about not cussing.
Excuse me.
But won't talk about the
This
real shit.
disruption is not allowing the commission to conduct business. Please refrain from disrupting commission business.
Talk about some fucking cuss business. The commission don't want to talk about the real shit. You are the disruption. You the disruption. Fucking cancer. Every last one of y'all need to be fired. Pieces of shit. Get out of here. Talk about some fucking cussing. Make a motion about this. What you here for? Money? Motherfucker. Y'all getting paid? Talk about some fucking cuss words. Motherfucker. Y'all are cancel the meeting to the talk about some fucking cussing, profanity. Y'all lame as fuck. And don't never want to talk about the real shit. Make a motion. Talk about some fucking cuss words. Y'all fucking disrespectful as fuck. You back here on Facebook looking at fucking punks, bro. Dress up in bullshit. I'm sick of this shit. You ain't doing shit. You ain't doing shit. Ain't none of y'all doing shit. Talking about fucking cuss words, bro. We just sat up in this motherfucker for 2 hours talking to y'all. And y'all talking about a motherfucking...
Sir, this is a warning.
Shut the meeting down.
This is a warning.
Cancel that motherfucker. Give me another warning. Y'all won't listen to us.
President Mason, this is City Attorney Allison Toll. I recommend stopping the meeting due to an inability to conduct commission business. So be it.
You don't have no agency, your own brother.
It's 3:31. The meeting is adjourned. We will be clearing the room. Thank you.